Today my topic is on Breonna Taylor's lawsuit and the legalities that comes along with that. Not just civilly, not only financially, but just the whole scenario of a wrongful death lawsuit and how certain laws that could be implemented to prevent, future acts of police brutality. People are dying at the hands of police at a rapid rate, especially us African Americans, brown people in general. So with that being said, I'm going to have some clippings for you guys to see. All the money in the world can never replace a loved one, a child, a sister, a niece, a granddaughter, just in general, anyone that's a parent, you're a mom, a dad, a brother, an uncle, a grandfather, we just go through so much turmoil, man, just living in America. Us Africans in America. Let that sink in. For a lot of us that does not really understand what that means. We're in uncharted territory. That's what it means. And we're going to keep being treated that way until we stand our ground. Now, this is the thing. You're in a state, Kentucky, where there is a stand your ground law, meaning that if someone was to be an intruder or to break into your home, you have a right as a firearm holder or owner, to protect your home. And if a person, died lawfully, they die. That's just the whole concept of it. But you execute a no-knock search warrant. Now, I'm not sure of, earlier events that may have transpired that they're pertaining to the case in totality. But what I'm saying is this. If someone actually answers the door and says hello, and then approximately, as it states in previous articles, videos, clippings, 15 minutes later, these officers come rushing and blazing. You had an opportunity, whether it's a no-knock warrant or not, to say, okay, it's the police. I mean, these things could have been prevented, especially if search warrants were issued earlier and pertaining to the ex-boyfriend that was arrested. The one who was trying to implicate Mrs. Taylor, God rest her soul, as being a trap queen. That's a whole nother story. But take a look at this.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher, Attorney Mike O'Connor, to the Louisville Metro Council, to Tamika Palmer. As I sit and look at her and Bianca, my heart is filled because with Lanita, Sam, and I, we have become like family. And it has been so long getting to this day where we could assure that Breonna Taylor life wouldn't be swept under the rug like so many other black women. Significant step today, but now it is on Daniel Cameron and the Attorney General of Kentucky's office to bring charges, and at the very minimum, Lanita, second-degree manslaughter charges, because we want full justice for Breonna Taylor, not just partial justice. Breonna Taylor is a light to help heal what's happening in America.
As significant as today is, it's only the beginning of getting full justice for Breonna. We must not lose focus on what the real job is. And with that being said, it's time to move forward with the criminal charges, because she deserves that and much more. Her beautiful spirit and personality is working through all of us on the ground. So please continue to say her name. Breonna Taylor.
Thank you, Ms. Palmer. Thank you for your grace and for your strength and for your love for Breonna and for our city as well, and your determination to make this city a more just city and help to get us to this agreement. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Next, we will hear from Tamika Mallory of Until Freedom. Tamika.
Thank you, Mayor Fisher. Justice for Breonna Taylor. And if there ain't gonna be no justice, there ain't gonna be no peace. A settlement is restitution, but it's not arresting the cops. And we want to say today that the police officers responsible for killing Breonna Taylor must be arrested in order for the community to feel calm. We understand that this is an acknowledgement, and a great acknowledgement, of the wrongdoing that has happened. And it is important that our community understands what happened here today is very significant. It is significant because, again, there is an acknowledgement of Breonna Taylor's life and the fact that those officers in this city murdered her. Breonna Taylor has shifted the atmosphere. She shifted it not just here in Kentucky, but across the country. The ban on no-knock warrants was where we began in terms of great reform. And to know that Attorney Lanita Baker and Attorney Sam Aguiar continue to push for reform in this particular settlement is extremely important, and it cannot be denied. We must acknowledge it. The reforms are evidence that the city, unfortunately, its police department has been exposed for some corruption that exists within the department. The significance of this settlement is a small price to pay for our sister's life, a very small price to pay. They deserve all the money that we can muster up in the world just to help a little bit with the feeling of pain and turmoil that I know exists within this beautiful family. But let us not lose sight on the main focus, as Tamika Palmer has said. The officers, Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, John Mattingly, and Joshua James must be arrested. We cannot forget about Joshua James, the man who lied on a no-knock warrant application that sent police officers charging into the home of Breonna Taylor and Kenny Walker. We cannot forget about any of those officers. And if this police department is to do right by this community, if you know of other officers who were involved, they should be arrested and indicted immediately. Again, the restitution portion is one part, but arresting the officers is what will make this city do right by its citizens, and not just Breonna Taylor, but all the Breonna Taylors across this city who are afraid sitting in their homes, because to not have an indictment happen in this city is to say that no matter how much we pay, no matter how much reform we do, we rather pay, we rather cover it than to deal with the issue. And so I have to say to you, Mayor Fisher, we want to thank you for your leadership, but we want to say that if for any reason these officers are not indicted, that you must instruct your police department to fire every single one of them on the spot. That is called getting justice for Breonna Taylor. Thank you very much.
Justice for Breonna is multi-layered. What we were able to accomplish today through the civil settlement against the officers is tremendous, but it's only a portion of a single layer. When officers cause the death of an individual, it is imperative that we seek justice not only in the criminal system, but also in our civil system. That's when we hold people financially responsible. But it's important to know here that a financial settlement was non-negotiable without significant police reform, and that's what we were able to do today. We sought forth, as we went through negotiating the terms of this settlement and the reform, to engage police officers within the community, not just when they're dispatched to runs, but to get out, to volunteer in those communities in which they serve, to get to know other settings, to live within their communities, to dispatch social workers when they're needed for mental health crises.
With that being said, hopefully this can open up the door for Daniel Prue's family right here in Rochester, New York. And by the way, please like, subscribe, and share. And comment down below. Some of you may know that I have merchandise. I have an online website where you can purchase merchandise such as clothing, clutch purses, custom t-shirts, hats, sneakers, jewelry, drones. I got it all. Blue bags. I got everything. iPod cases. Everything. You want it? I got it. It's a possibility. But yeah, just check your boy out though. But on the other hand, and on the other note, man, please be safe. Because there's a lot going on out here, as you all know, and you can never be too safe now. I mean, it was never a case where you can actually be, comfortable. But now tension is at an all-time high. And once again, like I said, this opens the door for Daniel Prue's family right here in Rochester, New York. There is now a case to be cited now, pertaining to Breonna Taylor's situation. And I hope this prevails for many of us across the world. Have a blessed night, man.